Happy Virgo full moon, beloveds. My name is Alicia Love, and I am a Venus Star Point focused astrologer. If you want to know all the ins and outs about Venus cycle and how that affects all of us, follow me through this journey because I have been dropping the little nuggets along the way. And I am so ready to come out in the world and just say, this is what I do. This is how I talk about it. And this is the future of femininity. This is the future of how we tune in to the feminine and the development of each of us individually. The full moon in Virgo is the goddess, like divine feminine of the astrological signs of the wheel. She's the sixth sign, so ruling the sixth house. So if you have anything significant going on in your sixth house, that Virgo energy is going to be affected for this full moon. She is an earth element, and Virgo is about purity. It's that virgin energy. And the root word of virgin, the old word of where this came from, was really all about like the pureness of starting something brand new. And 6 months ago, we had a Virgo new moon, September 14th. And that seeded some really big things for me. So I want to talk about following a cycle from the new moon to the full moon 6 months apart. Because right now, our new moon and our full moon are out of sync. It's called out of pattern. We are having the full moon in a sign before the new moon of its opposite sign. Normally, or in a appropriate pattern, you seed the new moon, which would be in Pisces season, and then the full moon in Virgo. And then we reset to the next sign when we have the sun in Aries. The new moon is in Aries, and it would be at the beginning of the month. And then through the end of that 1 month solar period, you'd have a full moon in the opposite sign. So September 14th was our Virgo new moon, which would bring us into a pattern of 6 months instead of 2 weeks from the new moon to the full moon. And I want you to think back to what you were seeding at that new moon. It was kind of the height of summer, but right back to school season, where like we still wish we were doing all the summer stuff. But the Virgo energy is what pulls us into the appropriate timing. It's clean and organized and focused, and it's that teacher energy. And I think of a school teacher instead of Capricorn being an earth sign that is also a teacher energy ruled by Saturn, brings in a lot more of like the masculine top down. And we're even trying to shift our consciousness around that because there could be that grandmother wisdom in the Capricorn energy as well. And I go on a tangent just to help everyone understand the elements. And we're in a wood dragon year, which is so appropriate because the wood of the wood dragon is what holds the earth. The roots hold the earth together, and it's what prevents landslides and things, right? So the wood is actually going to help us to anchor in and hold this earth energy. And at the full moon on Friday night, Saturday morning, we're going to really celebrate how much we've seeded and held. And it's the first full moon of our Wood Dragon Lunar New Year. So we're also celebrating this new cycle, and we're honoring that we're in the Pisces season. So things softened a little bit. And we are reflecting this Virgo full moon energy to this like really watery, ethereal, dreamy state of Pisces. And that energy feels really good and soft and gentle compared to this electric Aquarius that's just been coming in. So tell me, who's been feeling major shifts and changes over the last week or two? Because when Pluto moved into Aquarius, we saw the beginning, the true, true, true beginning of the age of Aquarius. This is it, people. We've been feeling it. It's a 200-year, like it takes a lot to shift into a golden age and the age of Aquarius, but we'll be there for 2,000 years. So that first 200 years can be a little like, oh, we're in and we're out. And that's what Pluto was doing. It was going in and out of Aquarius. Nope, I'm going to go back to Capricorn. Nope, I'm going to spend a little time in Aquarius. Nope, I'm going to go back to Capricorn. And right now it's like, I am in Aquarius, and we just initiated Mars. And then a couple days later, Venus last week in Aquarius energy over this Pluto. And then as I'm making this video today on Wednesday, February 21st, Venus and Mars, well, Venus caught up to Mars. And so now we are getting the sacred union alignment, which is again an out of pattern cycle right now. And this is temporary, and cycles need to reset and come back into sync. It's like a dance. And then when they start following an appropriate pattern, but a more logical, rhythmic, not expected, but what's the word for, like, predictable. In some way, we know what we're going to get. So we're initiating Aquarius in our mindset to think differently into the future, in these like communication that will benefit everyone, not me, just this is what's important to me. Or, then we're talking about the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So if you have any major placements in those, or anything at 6 degrees, then you're going to feel this even stronger. But we're all going through this marriage of what is important to us. And it's not even masculine and feminine. It's like what you do in the world and what you receive from the doing, right? So there's this really big energy of Virgo being of service that is being brought to the sacred union. And there's so many layers to this. Like, we can talk about Venus and her Inanna descent 19-month cycle and where we're at in that, which is our second chakra at the 6th gate of the descent. So Venus is the morning star right now, and she's going down and stripping away anything that is blocking her from being in her full divine, unified oneness self. And she's going to have to die to go to that place and understand and learn it, just as we all have to initiate ourselves. And Pluto brings that energy too. What is dying? I had a 20-year career in wellness, and that died. Like, it choked and died. And I loved my career in wellness, but it was not really what I wanted to do in the biggest scope of things. I've always felt called to work on a more psycho-spiritual, emotional level. And when I was in college, getting my degree in herbal science from Bastyr, the naturopathic school in Seattle, and I was going to be a doctor, and I was trying to do everything in the right way, right? I really had an awakening to the divine feminine and how that circle of women that I belly danced with were the sisterhood that brought me into my awareness in my body, different from just my mind. And I almost quit that program and jumped into psychology. So it's really interesting for me that this Virgo new moon back in September 2023 initiated my idea that I can do that. Why I can still do that. My son just turned 16. He's Aquarius, February 1st. And this mental capacity that I have, and something is shifting, and I have a boy that can take care of himself in new ways, and I can go back to school and learn and become a student again with this Virgo teacher, learning and organizing. And I have to tell you, my biggest challenge with this Virgo energy is being organized. And for me, it's organizing time, because I love to do too much. But Virgos are very linear in their timing of things, and they understand how long something's going to take, which I'm like cosmic in that. I can't even imagine how long something's going to take, including this video. So I'm just going to say, I want to get through all of it. And sometimes that squeezes the timeline somewhere else. And so to bring in the dragon energy, dragons help us expand time. So I'm in this portal right now. I'm feeling this Virgo full moon and the way she wants me to step into my purpose and bring forth and organize this learning for my future service. And the dragon energy is helping actualize it, making it possible by helping me to stretch time. And one of the other words I'm using with my dragon tribe friends is dilating and focusing, like you're dilating to focus. So dilating is opening, right? So focusing is like you think of it going like this, and then dilating is a time expansion and an opening to another dimensional reality. So we use our third eye to look into what's going on other levels. So we've got the earth plane, and we've got the water energy, and we've got the air energy, and we've got the fire energy. And then we have plasma. And our future sight vision, and I think even Aquarius is not, it's an air sign that's pouring water. Those two elements are very interesting. They're the most fluid elements of all of them, and they're tangible in a spacious way. Plasma, and you have to check out the NASA video on plasma. I'll put a link in the comments below because it blew my mind how we need to understand this element. It is the next phase of matter. And the universe is mostly made up of plasma. And Aquarian energy and all this futuristic energy is very plasma-like. So downloading this like plasma wisdom information from Aquarius, layering it with the dragon new year and anchoring it with the wood roots. And wood is also what you use to fuel a fire or build a structure. The scaffolding for your year ahead is here for you now. You can sit in prayer with water under the full moon. You can put water out overnight on Friday night with your crystals and drink it in the morning as an honoring to this reflection that you're getting from this full moon energy. And the reflection is a celebration. I am celebrating a new evolution of a phase with my teenage son. And I am celebrating that all the changes I've made in these last 6 months to seeding that thought, to being in my prerequisites and turning in my application this month, to go to a new program in the fall that is a master's degree in psychology, that I had to make a lot of changes and a lot of choices along the way to make that possible. And those changes are what seeded and made possible the next level of what we're doing. So this is my blessing to you. This is the full moon reflection energy. This is the dragon wisdom, this ancient, ancient, old dragon wisdom, the Venus feminine wisdom, with the Mars masculinity to help us create and do it all. We could not do it without the masculine. I love the masculine and I love the feminine, and I want her to be supported. And so I'm calling in all of these energies and magically creating offerings. I have meditations, I have one-on-one coaching, and I host women's circles. If you are a man and you feel left out, I host a circle of love in person in Portland, and online you can come to the tarot and tea and get some of this magic because I want to include you. I want you to listen and tune into the feminine and what is she doing and what is that stirring up within me and what do I need and want from this? Like that is so important to me as well. So to all of you sisters, big hugs and kisses. To all of you brothers, big hugs and kisses. To my ancestors, to the future generations, to all beings everywhere. May you enjoy this Piscean energy, beautiful clarity of the full moon. alignment and electricity with Aquarian Venus Mars union, and overall call in those dragons for strength and guidance and your ascension. Continue to follow me and I will help guide you along the way. Reach out to work with me and I will level you up like you wouldn't believe. This month, I'm offering a Leap into Love challenge. It's almost complete, but it's a leap year. So you can still join. Every day I send emails. That information is in my link tree, so you can find it anywhere you find a link to me. And I hope that you have a magical, wonderful weekend.